take Ritalin. I don't rhyme for the sake of Ritalin.
Thank you for sharing, Jahwell, as you ramble
Hold up, wait a minute. I take Ritalin for the sake of rhyming. See, but Nicki's the perfect example of
welcome everybody to the new Jah And Pint episode.
So why you hate Nicki
Happy
so much?
New Year.
Why you hate Nicki
I'm
so
Half
much?
Pint.
She hate Nicki.
It's far from the truth.
Wow, well, what is it?
I'm about sisterhood, and I do respect what she's been trying to do. I think it's a little misguided in some aspects because her demographics and target are young people that are watching her, and they're becoming impressive minds that are thinking that this is the behavior that is conducive to becoming successful, and it's not. You cannot knock her hustle and what she's been.
Of course, I can knock it. I can knock it all. In a male-dominated industry, as you say, right? A female comes along, right? And she's bad. Why would I oppress her? Why would I suppress her? I want to take her and put her out.
What's the difference between exploiting and oppression?
Because all of them are being exploited. Look at it. Do you remember when Ice-T said,
what's the first thing an artist say when they come? Put me out there. So you say you want to go on the track. So what I do is I'll give you money. I'll make you look good. Now you get out there and you sell me some records. You sell me some pussy. See, there's a parallel.
Anytime somebody's putting money into you and making money off of you, that is a form of exploitation.
And what I'm saying about her is that she has the mentality of saying, I want to be a go-getter. I don't think her demographics is true to what her content is. I hear 12-year-olds and 9-year-olds by Anaconda. I mean,
see, you can't put that on the artist. You can't put that on the artist because, all right, it's by the same token of Blowfly, Richard Pryor. If your grandkid is listening to that, that's your fault.
She's played on, every radio station and every TV station. And she refers to her, the people that follow her as her Barbies. What is a Barbie? A Barbie is a doll. A doll is something that is catered to young people. And then it becomes also the generation gap where the older folks are listening, or a key demographic who she may be targeting listening to it, and they're listening to it with their kids there. And when you hear it on the radio at, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
You put your hand down?
You ain't got to worry about it today. You ain't got to worry about me hitting you today.
Just did it. You may not be hearing from Nicki Minaj for a while after this because, first of all, she doesn't have that many albums.
Remember, everyone that she's had has had a deluxe, a reloaded, and a remix version.
And there's a reason for that. But what I'm talking about is she did guest spots on everybody's joints. She was the only person, I think, in rap history that went on tour and just did her guest spots. Now, when you're doing all these guest spots, right, you get fooled. What's happening? You're doing all these guest spots, right? Now you get an album. Can you sustain an album?
Is it something that she is looking forward to doing because she plans on leaving the label or expanding her repertoire? Because we know that she's going into film. We know that she's spread herself thin. That could be the reason why her music has not been dedicated to, her full potential, because she's been doing so many other things.
Maybe
a lot of different things.
Maybe she's just not good. I don't consider it her spreading herself thin. You sign that deal, and that cat has you working overtime because he's a greedy person, he's individualistic, and he wants his money. When you're looking at Universal with the distribution and them being the mother company, they call all the shots. And kids don't want to be preached to. They don't want to hear nothing too heavy, and all they want to hear about is sex, drugs, rock and roll. And now you can add murder to that. And the one thing that I dug about Nicki was that she did not exploit murder. Okay, if all she was talking about was some sex, and I don't care how she talked about it, she was not advocating murder. So I can't be that mad at her.
She is constantly doing things to keep herself out there. You know what I'm saying? Just like when she started, she did things for shock value. Now she wanted to kind of come off of that and make you hear what she was saying. But she still, even though she didn't have the wigs and the costumes, she still was doing things for shock value. That's where Anaconda came in.
Now, America, and I like to spell out with 3 Ks, by the way, America cannot be mad at this chick for shock value when you ain't mad at that chick that's wearing meat coats.
What you see Nicki doing is she's backing off of that, and she's saying, listen, yes, I'm still sexy. Yes, I'm still doing this, but I want to go on this avenue. I want to go here. And I think that's why they were saying that she's probably losing some of that money because of some of the things that she's not doing that she was doing before.
Hater.
But she's growing. And at some point, I hope that she continues to grow.
Hater. Turn off that frown. Okay.
You got a lot of people that are signing deals right about now, and they act, they come in as one thing, and then the record company says, nah, I want you to be like this, and totally changes them, and they become something that they're not, and then they can't even handle responsibility of living up to that. And that's what we see a lot of these young dudes are getting signed,
I
and they
think that
end
I
up.
think it's I don't mean to interrupt you, cause I don't mean to interrupt you because I think that you're right. But the whole thing is that I think that some of that stuff is right, but you have to understand they are not changing these kids. These kids are coming to the game pre-programmed with that bullshit.
Well, now they are. But what I'm saying
It's
is,
been that way for a long time. You let the artist, that's like letting the fucking inmate run the asylum.
but when an A&R person sees an artist,
Mm-hmm.
they see them in their true respective parts. I'll give you an example. Erykah Badu.
Mm-hmm.
When Erykah Badu came out, before she signed, she didn't wear the head wraps and all that kind of stuff. She wasn't like that. But Kedar saw that in her from her music and from her style and said, you know what, this is what we're going to go with. So he stayed true to who she was, but he just wrapped it up in a different kind of package.
Yeah, that's the only way into this game. They do it in acting. They do it in movies. They take you, they get you a stylist. That's what that's all about. Nicki Minaj is the perfect person to make the poster child of you can be young, fine, black, and sexy and rise to the top of this game, but they didn't want to do that with her. They wanted to do it with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't room for two of them. So I think that Nicki had to take a back seat to that. I think that with that Barbie thing, it worked. It worked. But then you got to a point where she had to move on because her audience was growing up, and they're not going to be Barbie 5 forever. So when you did that, all you got to do is make the content a little bit more adult, but a little less risque. Because when you're talking to us, you don't have to be so nasty. But when you're talking to the children, you do. They're growing up now. You don't have to be so vivid with them. And
I think Anaconda is as vivid as it's going to get.
Nicki Minaj is by far the smartest, and most intelligent chick in hip hop that's come out in a long time. I will say that. But in her arrogance and in her cockiness, it detracts from that and she loses a lot. So Nicki, I know you're not going to see this, but the thing that we would like you to do, or I would like you to do, is like, yo, let your record label do what they do.
Well, thank you for coming out. Join us in another show. Jah And Pint Show. Catch us every Tuesday. Rapstation.com. Hit us up at Jah And Pint Gmail. Hit us Jah And Pint Twitter. Jah And Pint Facebook. And come back and see us at Rapstation.com. Same channel, same place. Thank you for your love and support.
Fish sandwich and Kool-Aid.
Peace.